It's Chubb. Poke tackle into the secondary, and there he goes.
Nick Chubb suffered a calf injury. At least those are the reports have indicated that he suffered a calf injury in Week's 5 game against the Chargers. In those reports, it does not indicate how severe or what the magnitude of that injury was, or what muscles were actually impaired or disrupted. Now, in the calf itself, there are 2 parts to that calf we call the gastrocnemius, and it lives on the lower leg. In that gastrocnemius, there are 2 parts to it, one that lives on the inside of this leg and the one that lives on the outside of that leg. Those 2 parts make up the dynamic muscle that crosses 2 joints. It crosses the knee joint and it crosses the ankle joint itself. When in full extension of the knee, so when the knee is fully straight and you're pushing off the ground and your ankle goes into what we call dorsiflexion and it tries to push off the ground, accepting a lot of dynamic force, it causes what we call an eccentric stretch onto this calf muscle. And when you have an eccentric stretch on this calf muscle, it produces a high dynamic force placed upon this muscle that it has to hold and grasp and then produce a force that is going to be required to propel you forward, which will then cause a lot of strain into that muscle group. Now, when you're dealing with a grade 1 muscle strain, specifically in the calf region, you're looking at more of a less than 10% of those fibers that were disrupted. You're going to be looking at a loss of motion and a loss of strength. In order for it to become a grade 2, there would have to be more we call like 10 to 50% of disruption inside that muscle. It is very difficult to walk after that. You have significant loss of motion and significant loss of strength. Most reports indicate that he may have suffered a grade 1 muscle strain inside that calf region. Now, inside that calf, there could be several muscles that could have gotten disrupted. Not only does the gastrocnemius or the calf muscle live in that region, but underneath the calf muscle, there are we call flexor muscles of your foot. So they control what your foot is doing. And there are also other muscle groups that support this gastrocnemius and called the soleus muscle to allow full motion and force produced through this ankle. Most reports are indicating that he suffered a calf muscle injury. So that could be the gastrocnemius. The gastrocnemius, if rushed too soon to become back to full restitution, that means that it could have a chance for re-aggravation or re-injury. Therefore, I don't anticipate that they rush him back considering the muscle strain. When you're dealing with a grade 1 muscle strain, you're looking at between 1, 2, 3 weeks of recovery if it's a low grade muscle 1 strain. In the weeks 1, you're looking at reducing pain and inflammation. Week 2, you're looking at dynamic strength or functional strength and functional recovery, such as low grade running, low grade movement laterally, low grade jumping, and then moving into your sport specific drills within would be weeks 3 and 4. I anticipate that he suffered a grade 1 muscle strain. Therefore, since they do have a quick turnaround this week 7, they keep him out week 6 and week 7. They make a big push for him to try and return week 8. We're going to be closely monitoring reports to ensure that it was a low grade muscle 1 strain, that he has returned to practice, and now he's fulfilling multiple days of practice and gearing up for that game day. I anticipate they keep him out all the way to week 8. They make a big push for him to come into week 8. If he doesn't have any setbacks or barring any re-aggravation of that calf strain, they roll him out during week 8. Have contingency and plans in place just to ensure that they don't keep him out longer and that muscle is taking more of a delayed response to healing considering the high dynamic nature of football.